What's up, everyone? It's your host, DJ. You guys are now on the right path. I'm gonna lose some friends today because I will be doing a brief, unpopular opinion video. What I'm about to say, I'm just gonna go ahead and apologize for because I know a lot of people may be upset just over the severe gravity of these 5 unpopular opinions. Don't hate me. If you do, well, there's nothing I can do about that. Number 1, bangs are ugly. Bangs, you know, bangs are ugly. Not on everyone. Selena Gomez was rocking the bang look. Alright, everybody know Rihanna can rock any look. For other people, it doesn't work. Maybe very few, but I personally don't like it. To me, bangs is the combination between a bob and a mullet. And both of those are also ugly to me. I don't see the appeal. A lot of people don't seem to share that opinion, obviously, women mostly. I've never heard another man say they don't like bangs, but then again, I don't go around asking men what type of haircuts they like on women. Number 2, watermelon and peanut butter are absolutely disgusting. It's like it came from the devil itself. The weird thing is, I like watermelon flavored things, but not watermelon itself. Like grape flavored things don't taste like grapes. Watermelon flavored thing doesn't taste like watermelon. I'll get me some watermelon Kool-Aid, watermelon lollipops, Laffy, whatever it is. Like, I'll eat it, but to eat an actual watermelon, I also just found out a couple days ago there's yellow watermelon. Never knew that, and I'm not gonna try it. When I was a kid, there was this one watermelon. It's at my godfather's house. There was this one watermelon they shared with us that was really, really sweet, and so that one was okay. But I wouldn't go back and eat it again. It was just like, oh, this is actually a good one. Peanut butter, don't even get me started. That is literally just devil's crap. Like, he literally sat down, pooped out peanut butter, and then gave it to the world. I strongly believe that. Just like Bigfoot is real, peanut butter came from the devil's poop. I'll eat the Reese's peanut butter cups, but other than that, peanut butter. Now, the next 3, I'm gonna have to go into some explanations with, because the next 3 can potentially cause a problem, which, once again, I don't care. 3, everyone can be racist. Racism is described as prejudice towards anybody based on their skin color. Now, I know in today's day and age, there are some woke people who believe African Americans cannot be racist. African Americans, based on that belief, in today's world, can sometimes be the most racist people of all. Not all. I've ran across some people who just wanted all white people to die. And they didn't have any personal experience themselves. It was because our ancestors did this, our ancestors did that. I get it. History is important. But if you have not inherently experienced it as of now, you can experience prejudice and stuff like that, but just an outburst of racism in your life, because I have, but I don't hold it against everyone, But if you haven't experienced that in your life, then you don't really have an opinion. You can be upset because of what happened in history, but at the same time, it's not you. And I know that's bad to some people, because it sounds like I'm saying I don't care about what our ancestors went through. That is not the case. I get it, I really do. But me personally, based on my opinion, when it comes to things like racism, I don't take it personally unless an individual is attacking me based on my race or says something somewhat racist towards me. I do believe everyone needs to respect each race, but because I have not directly, constantly been affected, like I wasn't a slave. You weren't a slave, your grandma wasn't a slave, your parents weren't slaves. We all deal with things like generational curses, and we all try to break generational curses at some point in our lives, but we're also keeping the biggest ones alive. Like, take slavery for example. Let's say at some point down your line, someone in your family was a slave. When you allow that to harbor hate inside of you towards any specific person based on their race, you're allowing that generational curse of hatred, anger to continue down your family line. And it is taught. Just like when it comes to a racist white person, it can be taught to their kids. Black people, hatred and anger towards white people based on something that frankly you had nothing to do with now. Back then, just coherently makes everything worse, and it continues to bring generational curses. For white people, the generational curses is the hatred towards African Americans. It wasn't even hatred that caused slavery. They needed workers to help them build some stuff. Africans sold their prisoners to them. White people got greedy, went back and got some more, and then just didn't stop after that, and then started considering us creatures. But that's white people's generational curse. continuously breeding that particular part of racism. Because I'm not going to throw out the Hispanics, they were slaves as well. They dealt with their own racism. But for black people, our generational curse is anger towards that. So then when that white person's child, maybe that white person was racist, taught it to their child, that child's now caught with that generational curse because they were taught, no, don't like black people. Or to believe all the stereotypes about black people, which black people will do the same thing. Anger, problems, their parents will then teach their kids, no, this is what white people will do to you. So then we're bred in our mind, don't trust white people, don't like white people, they're just going to do this, they're only going to see us as stereotypes. Never mind the fact that we're believing all the stereotypes about them. Then you're missing out on true relationships, true friendships. Because as a Christian, I am led to believe that we all come from the same God. I highly doubt God looks in a mirror and says, I hate my black self. I hate my white self. You can't be a Christian knowing that God created everything and then hate something that he created when you all came from the same being. We all come from the same being. Yet we hate the fact that we all have that relation in basic terms. Some people, the radicalists out there, will use Christianity as a means to back up their racism. Never mind the fact that we all come from the same being. And that doesn't make any sense either, because in the Bible, let brotherly love continue. We're taught that everybody is brothers and sisters through Christ, yet we're skeptical about everything. Now I get, because of the worldly views, it twists our minds. Even if you're not a Christian, every day out there that people believe in has a positive message for the most part to be taught. And in almost every religion, love everybody is kind of the norm. But for some reason, we like to interpret it our own way or take it into our own hands to find out what God meant, or to play God even. White people try to play God, and in some ways black people did as well. Back in Africa, when we went at war with people, our own flesh and blood killed people, our skin color made them our slaves, our prisoners. And then when Europeans came over, we said we cared so little about our prisoners that we sold them into slavery. White people was like, I was taught to only date within my race. Black people, that's another thing. White people will say that to a black person. A black person will get offended, never mind the fact they were taught the exact same thing. I personally was, not from my dad, but my mom, my stepdad, they always told me, be careful with them white people. Now, with that being said, they did love everybody. We had white friends, stuff like that. But for some reason, African American parents feel the need to always warn their kids about white people because they know how white people can be. White people shouldn't be teaching their kids that, black people shouldn't be teaching their kids that, because it just keeps bringing down the generational curses, keeps breeding hatred. Me, I was always extremely aware. Ever since I was a little kid, I never once let that get to me. I always have my own mindset in that way. No race makes it easier on the other race. We all have that person inside there it just makes it worse for everybody. But with that being said, no race is innocent. African Americans, we don't make it easy based on the things that we are more known to do. My people definitely don't make it easy. We all have those duds that just makes it harder on the rest of us who are trying to break free from that. I got tons of white friends. I got tons of black friends too, but that's because I just get along with everybody. I got tons of Hispanic friends. I like to get along with everybody. That's what it means to be a Christian. I'm supposed to love everybody, get along with everyone. Like, racism is just a lack of common sense to me. I use my common sense to determine who I should be friends with, but not based on their race. I have a pretty good judge of character. I have to present myself in a more presentable way. One of the stereotypes is on black people's side towards other black people is, why do you act white? Truth of the matter is, I'm just acting civilized. Somebody got to break that generational curse. So that's me. If that's got to be me, then it's got to be me. So no, I wanted to learn as much as possible to not be whatever I grew up around or whatever I grew up in. So yeah, I smile, yeah, I greet myself, yes, I try to talk as well as possible, like I have some type of education about myself. It's not just a white-black thing, like I said. Everyone has, experienced it. Slavery has happened all around the world. It wasn't just white and black, although that's the one that we choose to think of because America. Number 4, women cannot do everything a man can do. Let me rephrase that. Women should not do everything a man can do. I do believe that it is a man's job to put food on the table. With that being said, fellas, don't just put food on the table. Don't just go to work and come home and sit down and not do anything. No, you guys are supposed to work as a team. I think feminism was a nice idea. I understand equal pay, equal respect under the law and stuff like that, yes. But I do just believe there are some jobs meant for a man. But I strongly believe that there's just some things a woman should not have to do, and that men have to step up for. There are instances if a woman has a career before a man comes into their life, then of course that's for you guys to figure out together. But if that woman says, no, you know what, I don't want to work, men, you do have to step up, because that's okay for them to say. The Bible says men don't work, don't eat. That's just what I believe. I don't think a woman should have to do everything that a man can do. And last but not least, some Christians are only Christians to get things from God. Some people only claim Christianity in hopes of somehow trying to trick God and thinking they are a Christian so he can give them things, not realizing that's not how it works. Christianity is not your means for, easing things off of God. It's different if you find God through a lesson. Sometimes you can experience something like really painful and you have to learn your lesson that way. And then it's like, okay, let me get closer to God. But you do it so that way you realize that's who's supposed to be over your life. You're giving him the glory. And then in that process, you're making your life better. But those who are like, let me try Christianity because maybe God will make this go away. There's a lot of Christians out there like that who don't discern the difference. I've seen it. Some people are like, okay, well, I'll get into my Christianity just so I can get this thing off from me, or just so I can not experience this anymore. Not realizing the whole lesson behind it. They're just fed up with this, so therefore they're going to be a Christian. No, you got to learn your lesson. You have to praise him. You have to give him all the glory and stuff like that. And you have to read the Bible. You have to be a full blown out Christian. Don't just claim it just to get things. I used to be like that too. I was just tired of everything. I was always raised in church, but I could have been around some pretty radical people as well. So as I was growing up, my faith kind of lessened, and so then it was like, okay, well, I guess let me get back into this thing so that way I can get away from whatever I'm dealing with. But that was the wrong way of doing things. And then I would try to be that and still try to be a part of whatever I was a part of, and that wasn't good. You can't be a part of sinful things and then because you know God, you're just gonna pray and repent and it'll be okay. No, he does forgive. At the same time, you have to learn your lesson in that forgiveness. That was pretty self-explanatory. I hope y'all pray for me. Thank you for continuously supporting me, and I hope we all continue to stay on the right path.